Everyone, to the people who have joined us virtually today. Uh, my name is Karthik, and we are joined with Dr. Smita Ghosh for our fifth episode of Experience Exchange. This is one of Tosam's volunteering initiatives this year. Now, as we all know, United Nations has designated that 2026 is the International Volunteering Year. And as a part of this, Tosam has started volunteering events throughout the year with each month focused on a particular domain. Now, for the month of May, we decided to focus on health and well-being. As we all know, in this past times, it's very important to take some time to treat our own body, our own mind, uh, for the good health, so that we can live longer and help more people and volunteer more. So today we are joined by Dr. Smita Ghosh. She is a psychologist, the VP at CSRBOX, and a very prolific author. She is also the recipient of the Seminar Achievers Award 2025. I welcome you to the podcast today.
Thank you so much, Karthik. And it's really, I'm happy to be part of this discussion today. And the topic is really very close to my heart.
Yes, ma'am. Because when I reached out to you regarding this topic, I think one word which stuck out for both of us was empathy. And I think the title of today's podcast, which is Beyond Academics, AI to EI, that is artificial intelligence to emotional intelligence, is something critical in this growing age. So, ma'am, as we get into this podcast, I think there is a little bit of clarity required on what is AI, because everyone is talking about AI these days.
Yeah.
Everyone is pumping up their resumes with this magical buzzword. But what is this AI?
Okay. EI is very simple. So, to begin with, ever since we start our journey as a student, and later we get into college or these things, the one word which dominates is EQ. Now, yeah, IQ. That is something ki intellectual quotient. Ki any person, how intelligent that person is, what is the knowledge and everything. But somewhere we are forgetting that to get that IQ, EI is also important, which is emotional intelligence, understanding emotions. Just a
Okay.
simple question: have you ever thought or taught about emotions in our life?
No, I think most of the time people are like chuprak, or people mostly say, or just deal with it. It'll become better. Just deal with it and just do the work. Your 9 to 5 work. That's it.
Exactly. So emotions is never taught, and we don't even know how many emotions are there. So again, there are different research which has gone. To some extent, one of the research says there are 30,000 emotions,
Wow.
and what we know is happy, sad, anger, disgust, hate.
Mhm.
But there is something beyond that happiness. There is something beyond that anger. We just use the larger term, but we forget what lies behind that happiness. Why happy, why sad, that nobody asks. And that is the main problem. So we don't understand the actual emotions, or what is emotions. We just know the bigger words. I'm happy, but why are you happy? So it's very simple. Agar, if I give you an example, there are two students in a class. Fine. One, and they don't see eye to eye.
Mhm.
He is very happy. Why? Because the other person flung the class,
Oh,
right? And there are two good friends. He is very happy. Oh, my friend got great marks. So now you tell me, is that the both the one good positive?
oh no. One is driven by, I think, in that case, jealousy. Is
Jealousy.
right.
But both of them are happy.
Mhm.
So the actual meaning of emotions we have never talked, or we have never taught our children or anyone for that matter. So that's the reason the importance of emotional intelligence in today's day and age is super important.
I think, yeah, because when it comes to the emotions, if we let it fester or if we keep, as the phrase goes, bottling it up, it might burst out at the wrong time. One interesting which stood out to me was when you listed all of the emotions, those were all of the characters from the Pixar movie Inside Out. And the first movie dealt with emotions in such a beautiful way. So you shouldn't bottle up, you should express your emotions. And then the second movie came along and tacked something which this day and age is a word thrown out everywhere, which is anxiety and depression. People are saying, "Oh, I'm so anxious" or "I'm depressed," and they are using these very hard words without the meaning or without the weight that they carry. So, how do you feel like in your professional work, in your colleagues, in your families? I'm pretty sure a lot of people, a lot of young people are talking about
Yes. So the whole thing started, Karthik, somewhere around the COVID time,
this. Hmm.
when there were so many proclaimed counselors who came into picture. If you
Right.
have problem, come and talk to me. So that is where this sudden a bloom of this words came into picture, where every second person was saying, "I'm depressed, I'm anxious," without knowing the importance or without knowing the depth of both the disorders. So what has happened is ki, definitely in recent years there has been a positive shift, whereas mental health is concerned or mental health awareness is concerned. Many people, they might be talking about emotions, which is good, but many normal emotions are now getting labeled as disorders. For instance, feeling nervous before an exam, I'm very anxious. Feeling nervous before exam is very normal, but then that has been transformed as a disorder, which is anxiety disorder, which is not. Similarly, feeling low after a failure is a natural emotional thing. Ki if you something does not work, you feel low, but then it is labeled as depression. I'm so depressed, ye huwa nahi. Again, without proper understanding that. So somewhere a lot of these things have come on social media, and again the Google University, where you put one problem and there is a one page of disorders that you will be getting. So people are really getting interested in knowing that I am having a problem
Mhm.
when actually there is no problem. So it is better that you talk to right person, and definitely a screen is not that right person. And that's the reason AI to EI.
Exactly. I was coming to that because when people started getting access to these LLMs, right, these large language models, which is AI, companies were very surprised to find that they started relying on AI for companionship. They started confessing their fears, started confessing what they're feeling, sort of using the AI like a couch therapist. And it backfires in a huge way because AI is built on a loop which will echo chamber back whatever you want to hear. And like you said, just like Google University, it's going to affirm whatever fears you have, right?
Yes. So see, definitely there are many AI groups today, and there are many online apps wherein they tell that they work on this mental health and all. Definitely AI is important, AI is required, but definitely that cannot be your way of life. You cannot rely on AI to get answers to your life. It can transform education, it can improve access to information, but students talking to a or a people talking to a screen is scary, and someone invisible answering, because what AI has just the stored data.
Right.
It is not reading your emotions, it is not reading, because each person, just like your fingerprints, each person's reasons might be different. So are you sure you're getting the right diagnosis? No two similar headaches can be the same reason in physical thing. Similarly, no two self-proclaimed disorders or anxiety can be of the same reasons. It can be a good anxiety also, which is again something which is useful. Secondly, no matter how advanced the AI becomes, it cannot replace the warmth of a conversation,
Right.
the comfort of being listened, the comfort of being understood, or the depth of a human relationship. So it should support our lives, technology or AI, but not substitute our emotional needs.
Yeah, because AI, what because of this name, artificial intelligence, the intelligence is just book knowledge. It, people should consider AI like a huge database which if they put an input, it's going to give you an output. It's not going to think, it's not going to understand. The word we are looking for is empathy, right? AI
Yes.
is not going to give you empathy. It's going to mimic empathy, right?
Yes, definitely yes. Uh, if you're talking about empathy, how many of us even know the meaning of empathy? There is a very fine line between the this understanding sympathy or with empathy. People always mistook you. "Nahi, we are sympathetic, but that is not empathy." Secondly, empathy cannot be taught in a classroom, or it is something not that taught out of a textbook. It is a way of life. Again, I'll give an example from schools because that is where we start. Because if empathy education needs to be there, it has to start early in life, and that too in a school. We focus on academics, math, science, everything. Do we focus on empathy? One simple example: there are different types of students in a class. Few very good in academics, few average in academics. Again, I'm not blaming anyone directly, but many parents of those top academic students will always tell, don't sit with those average students.
Yeah.
Can we change that narrative?
I've been a backbencher all of my life, so I know exactly what the PTA meetings. It will always be my class teacher going, "Oh, Karthik, he sits in the back all the time. He's not
Exactly,
going to
exactly.
come forward."
So can we change that narrative to, why don't you sit? Why don't you sit with that friend of yours and help?
Hmm.
That's empathy. And that will change how we look at things, and definitely empathy will be part of it. For example, Denmark is the only country where empathy is compulsory taught as a subject.
Oh wow, Denmark.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess so because like these Scandinavian countries, they have such a high level of happiness index, right?
exactly, exactly.
Okay.
High index of happiness. For example, what number is India?
Uh, I mean, it's
100 plus.
uh, yeah,
Okay, and we are the country who has got maximum number of happy days. Mother's Day, Father's Day, Diwali, Holi. You just look at our calendar, it is full of all the celebrations, supposedly the happy days.
yeah. Like when I have calls with my counterparts in the US, they would always complain like, "You guys in India, you guys are having at least one holiday a month or one thing to just joy and take."
Exactly, exactly, exactly. But still, in the happiness index, we are far, far behind.
Hmm.
And the only reason is that empathy is not seen as part of our way of life. What is happening in Denmark is that time, that 1 hour of empathy period is not something teacher is teaching,
Hmm.
but children, or they are talking. Oh, you have this problem, let's discuss who has the solution for it. So that is what makes the difference. So it starts in a classroom, and we are never taught empathy, we are only taught about numbers, and we are just grading children, and they grow with that grade.
It
So I
becomes
can't do anything, it comes out of that.
yeah. it's a struggle because children, one thing is their attention in classroom is anyway lessening because of all these social media. And where do we find time? I guess it needs to start from home, right? It needs to start
Yes.
from creating safe spaces where children can express their emotions without fear.
And can we express that emotion? When you say that we express our emotions without fear, but are we allowed to do that? It becomes that you are weak, or we are too ashamed to even express the emotion that I'm jealous. But until and unless it does not affect other person, it's okay. At least you have accepted your emotion. So that is something is needed. And if you talk about social media is killing that today.
Yes. The so-called real pressure, right? From peer pressure, we've got just swiping with what I think it's right now 10 seconds or 30-second videos, and that's the only thing that seems to engage them.
Yeah.
When it comes to these, I think another issue that we run into is the fact that people no longer, and especially children, they no longer have role models or someone who they can look up to because social media trends keep changing within a day or within a couple of days, and children, they ache for that attention, they ache for that relatability, right? They want to see someone who's going through what they're going through, and then how they're reacting, they would also respond in a way. Like how can we make sure that children find the right idol?
Yeah. See, if you talk about
Hmm.
social media started when Facebook and all those things came into picture. It was supposed to be a platform for communication where we are meeting long lost friends who might be in some other country and all. But today it has become a space where people are constantly shaping their identity.
Right.
They are not consuming the content which is there on those social media, but they are comparing themselves. They are performing for an audience who are there on that social media, which are an invisible audience,
Hmm.
and they are seeking validation. So the entire this generation, I will not call the only the younger ones, but the whole lot. There is a new generation which has come up, which is so hooked to social media. I will call them generation glass. For example, there are so many places when you go, you will see a group of friends. They are sitting together.
Hmm.
But instead of talking to each other, they are smiling on at their screens. So on the outside, it looks so nice. Oh, everybody is so happy. They are smiling. They are happy. That is the picture it is giving. But internally, there is a confusion. There is a self doubt, or maybe even loneliness. And somewhere, maybe that anxiety and depression is coming up because the whole life is on validation and the likes. For example, I have seen so many people put a post and then they delete because it did not receive enough likes.
We
So
talked
it is
about
a very,
emotion.
yes,
That's literally wiping away what you thought or what you felt.
exactly. So the self worth of a person is becoming completely dependent on external validation.
Hmm.
And those external validation, when you see the likes, I think only 5% are the genuine likes.
Right.
The others तो वो जैसे when we swipe the internet like करते गए, we just keep on liking. So 90% of the likes are only that.
I
So
think,
one more example I would like to give, it is something like when you go to a marriage, yeah, if you have a marriage in your family, you always keep a track of who has given what,
yeah, it happens.
right? So that next time you go to their marriage, you will have to give something of equal. So
Right.
today's these likes are something like this.
Hmm.
Oh, let me like this, so my post will be liked by them. Then
It becomes their currency of like attention span, or it's their currency of how close you are to a person.
yes.
Australia and Bangalore, recently they started doing something about it. They started to implement a social media ban for the under 16-year-olds. But again,
Mm-hmm.
it's very difficult these days. I've seen kids who are glued to their phone so much that their parents or their grandparents, they give them the phone just to shut them up. A kid is not allowed to run around because they make great stuff. It's supposed to be children, right? Let children be children. I think they're using this as a crutch when it comes to their day-to-day life.
Yeah, yeah. So again, something we don't want to put our more efforts into it. So giving a tab or a iPhone to a 5 year old or 3 year old is necessary just because they will be quiet. Or if you are showing a cartoon while having food, otherwise they will not eat. So somewhere we are unconsciously addicting children before they even know it. And the age that we are talking about is the crucial age when a habit is formed. And once that habit is formed, it becomes very difficult to break it. So now if we ask them to stop the screen usage or reduce the screen usage, they will not know what else to do. Are we giving them a alternative to a screen? Are we allowing them to go and play and get dirty?
Mhm. Oh my God, no. I I recently became a father, and already there's argumenting myself and my wife. Oh no, no, don't take him out in the sun. Oh no, that's too dusty. Don't go there. It's this helicopter parents, right? The protective nature of the children.
Just tell me, Karthik, how did you grow up?
Oh my
How
God.
many times you fell down?
I think I have scratch marks on all of my limbs to prove every cycle I've crashed or every time I dove while playing cricket. It's natural, right? It's
It's
how I
natural.
grow up. Yeah.
Exactly, because we had a childhood.
Hmm.
But these children, I really find it very hard to even imagine they are not playing, they are not being children, they are not being naughty. You discipline them for certain things,
Hmm.
but don't discipline them to for being a child.
Right.
And let them play, na? Let them have that curiosity. Today we have destroyed their curiosity because we are feeding them just the screen content. How many of us will play while having a food, or we will talk, or how many times we will even listen to them without looking at our phones? So where is empathy? Are we practicing empathy that we expect them to have that understanding?
It's just like having it in the background effect, right? People do it all the time. They have their television running and they're looking at their phone while they're eating. It's this constant barrage that we have started to lose the attention span. We've stopped connecting with the people in front of us and instead are connected to our phones.
Exactly. Even when you go out with your family, it's the same thing.
Hmm.
Do you keep your phone inside when you're with family? Only one question. We keep our phone ki no, our family will call for emergency.
Right.
But when you're with your family, who is going to call for emergency? But still we have our phones with us.
Right. So when I was doing a little bit of research for this podcast, I came across the research paper, Dramatized Television Media on Mental Health, which was written by yourself. So I read through the whole thing. I think it focused mainly on television media, its impact on the genders as well as the people who watch television and who don't watch television. Now, if we were to update that same research paper, the term which would replace dramatized television media would be binge watching. Like this trend of I have to consume this media, I'm addicted to this media. So, uh, what, how do we step away from that? Like, how do we practice empathy? How do we practice associating from the screens and just developing this crucial and important part of our own life?
Yes. So, as I said earlier, empathy is not something that can be taught through a textbook. It is a habit, and there are few things which needs to be changed. So, when we ask someone, let's take example of children, because that is where the empathy should start becoming like a habit.
Mm-hmm.
It cannot be something I teach a 20-year-old what is empathy. I can teach a 4-year-old or 5-year-old about empathy, or to give that kind of a thing to him or her. Ki, this is what you should be doing. Now, for example, when a child comes back from school, how much did you got? Who was the highest? Are you the topper? Can we ask how was your day?
Mm-hmm.
Can we ask what different did you learn today? So somewhere these simple things can get empathy. Again, teaching pause. Do we pause in our life? We are always running. Our muscle memory is only to run.
Right.
Morning में 6 o'clock you will wake up. Arey, do it fast, do it fast. The narrative with our children is only get up, get ready, get ready. The bus will go. We are always in a hurry. We don't pause. That pause button, computer or isme hai, but in our life we don't have. So think, even a child, even a person coming back from a school or coming back from an office might have a difficult day. So instead of bombarding that person with questions, can we have a simple thing? Oh, how was your day?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you might be tired. That is empathy. That is a habit which consciously will have to build. So today's time, as parents or as elders, we need present parents.
Mm-hmm.
Just for the sake of it, giving something to a child is not parenting. Be there for 20 minutes, but that 20 minutes has to be quality, where you only listen. You don't give them list of things to be done.
And no judgment, right?
Yeah. And practice yourself first. जैसे कि the first example I said, na, be friend only with the toppers. So are we teaching empathy to these children? We are only teaching them कि good marks means good people, less marks means not good people. That is not empathy.
Mm-hmm.
So very simple things in life. So instead of asking only about how much marks did you get, why you have got less marks, so we should ask how was your day, because that is how the emotional connection will be there. So if we see, EI is empathy. So unless and until we have that emotional connect, we cannot grow empathy. And empathy is a habit which slowly will grow. It is not ki one day I will teach you ki these are the 5 things. It's not something a checklist. It is a way of life. Every day you need to change how you speak, how you think. And for that, that pause button in our life is necessary. Stop, take a deep breath, and then respond.
I think.
So yeah, so just one thing, to children, they don't learn empathy by being told, or anyone else. If I ask you be empathetic, you won't be. They will experience it by seeing us.
Mhm. Yeah, because we spoke about emotion, another thing from research paper which I think is very important for this stage is how social media or any kind of media is preying on that negative, that emotional response, right? That will keep you engaged. People scroll through reels. Recently, a lot of states during election time, it's all about feeding you that negative buzz or keeping you hooked or triggering that emotion in you so that you will keep like addicted to that platform. Now, as adults, we should learn to identify where we are actually being marketed towards and where we are actually being fed some negative emotions so that we keep coming back or we keep repeating this negativity, right? We,
Mhm.
how can we develop that empathy as an adult, like creating that positive sphere for ourselves?
See, somewhere that negativity, too much of negativity is around us nowadays. Our perceptions have changed. And many a times it is dictated by the repeated feeds which comes on our social media. We keep on listening to certain things, and normally how does the negativity, the whole thing works? You keep on listening to something continuously and you start believing in it. The self talk which is happening, and which the feeds after feeds will come in your mind through your screens, through other people, and you start pursuing it because you don't stop, you don't think for yourself whether there is a logical thing or not. Are we thinking on our own? Do we have a habit of asking why is he talking like this? It is like a mob psychology. If 10 people are saying something, everyone will start following. Who wants to be alone? So how does it matter? ठीक है ना, everybody is going, everybody is going. So somewhere that's the reason for even for adults to get into that negative. First, stop listening to those things. Everybody has given a intelligence and a mind to think. So think on it. Have those pros, cons for everything. Don't just keep on feeding yourself, and stop having a perception. So um, again, it is a habit. We have become so used to this kind of a feeds nowadays, and unfortunately our newspapers and the feed, especially during now, if you see election time, there are only negativity all around.
Right.
So somewhere just stop it. Keep your phone outside. Declutter yourself. There has to be no technology time in your life. Just be with yourself, and slowly this negativity will definitely go. But it's not easy. Start with 30 minutes.
That itself might be a challenge for so many people.
Keep it outside, na.
Uh, right. I think to practice this, we obviously need some kind of support system. It can be our friend circles, our parents, our partners. It, we need that safe space so that we can continue to practice this. And it's sort of like a muscle, right? We need to constantly work at it and train it so that we can develop this ability.
See, even here, I would like to add one more thing. When you talked about the television or the media, which is showing the negative thing, there is so much of, for example, if you see the so-called Ekta Kapoor serials, there is this extreme negativity or extreme positive characters there, and people actually live those characters. When I was growing up, I have listened to people talking, "Arey, you know, Mihir died." It was something like something has happened in their own family.
And it's just a character, right?
Yeah, it is just a character. Forget about these things. For even the cartoons,
Mm-hmm.
Chota Bheem, you have laddu and you become strong.
Right. Right.
How many children had started having those laddus after laddus?
Right.
And same thing, Krishna and that Kanswala story where Kans is principal.
Oh, they rebranded
Yes.
it.
Yeah. So how are we teaching these children, or how that child is going to respect the principal?
Mm-hmm.
That is a feed we are giving to a child. So
Tough because
yeah.
like something I came across last month, and this is kind of a serious topic, so a little bit of a trigger warning for people. Uh, Three young girls of the same family, they were so addicted to Korean media, so addicted to Korean like actors and then their culture, their music, that they decided to end their lives stating that we wish to be reborn as Koreans so that we can marry them. Like, where did something go wrong? Those singers, they're all sisters, they're living in the same house. Couldn't we just check on our own friends or our own family members? Like, hey, are you okay? Like, are you in a good place? Is something happening? Feel free to share. Like, we need that, right? We need to check in on them, on what they're watching and what we're feeding them, right?
uh, See, somewhere in our I will not say nuclear family is bad, but the communication has stopped.
Mm-hmm.
We don't talk. We talk only business, even if it is our children. Homework ho gaya, marks, how much you got, that's it. That's the business.
Mm-hmm.
Did you go for this class? Did you go for that class? It's like an appointment book. Do we talk? Do we talk to our partners? Do we talk to our friends? Or the most important, do we have a friend? So, what is happening inside you, nobody knows. For example, when Sushant Singh thing came up, when that suicide happened,
Mm-hmm.
there was this 10-year-old child who committed suicide. If Sushant can do, even I can.
It's,
For the last few years, if you have seen 10-year-old children committing suicide, I'm stressed. What life they have seen? That at age 10, that means there is no communication, or there is a lot of pressure which is given to that child. The recent thing which happened in that Rajasthan school, the girl who committed suicide because she was bullied. Are we teaching them right? Are we making them resistance? Are we even teaching them resilience? Are we teaching them? Are we teaching them it's okay to fail, to fall down? In becoming this helicopter parents, or in becoming this protective, we are making ourselves very, very soft and vulnerable. Very small thing, and we can't take it in life. So as an adult also, we have stopped talking with people. When was the last time you might have called somebody? I
it's,
think during COVID this thing started, na call 5 people in this thing.
yeah,
But after that,
fun.
again, that was something like those ritual कि वो candle लगा के stand in the balcony, or that thing, that was just a
So it's just right.
challenge type. People took it.
Mm-hmm.
But every day we don't, no. We are so dependent on this technology. You tell me five numbers, five important telephone numbers of your family members. Can you tell? You have to think.
Yeah,
Exactly, that's the point. 5 people ka bhi we don't remember the numbers. So if your mobile is lost, you are lost.
yeah, yeah. I think it starts very young. We need to develop this. Um, so again, when I was doing research, I came across decoding Mithya, right? The world through the lens of Sati. Um, one one word which stood out to me over there was, I think it was disgendered toys. Am I saying that right? Because letting boys know that it's okay to express your emotions, or similarly telling the girl, oh, it's fine. You can like, if you want to wrestle in the mud with them, go ahead and do it. It's not stopping them or throwing that barrier over there, telling them boys should think like this or girls should think like that. Right? I think that is an important part of developing this empathy as they grow.
Now, in one of my book, I have mentioned about this chapters, what you're talking about. I'll just ask you one thing. You have a boy or a girl? And be honest, huh, Karthik?
So boys.
Boy.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Will you get a pink color dress for your boy? A
It,
simple question.
yeah. There's only one pink shirt he has right now because that's my wife's favorite color. Everything else is multicolored, I guess. Yeah. Or blue. It's mostly blue or white right now.
Second thing, will you ever get a cooking set for your boy?
He needs to. Uh, it depends on when, how he's going to feel it, right?
You will not be able to because your first choice is going to be a engineering set or a bike. And the other question, if you have a girl, will you get a blue dress for that girl? Or will you buy a bike for that girl? This is where it is starting. And you know, this pink and blue thing, it was never pink for girls and blue for boys. History is completely different. It was pink for boys and blue for girls because blue is the color of angel.
Oh wow. Okay.
And pink comes from the color of red and all that, so bright, that soldier type color. It was a marketing gimmick, just like Santa Claus was green. He became red when Campa Cola launched. You can see the history. So these are the things I have already mentioned in one of my books, and somewhere the colors define children's sex in our country.
Mm-hmm.
Gender toys is a reality. And we talk about equality, it's not. The topmost chefs in our country are male, but still, as a child, we will never give a cooking set to a child बोलेंगे ये क्या लड़की वजह से खेल रहा है.
Right.
So somewhere again, as I said, our perceptions, our mindsets needs to be changed. Why are we just limiting their play area or their life with these limitations? And we don't even talk with boys. We talk with girls when they are of age. Puberty आ गई, ये सब कुछ पता चल रहा है. Do we talk to boys? Never.
Mm-hmm.
वो तो अपने आप ही they will grow up. So somewhere communication is the biggest problem with us. And communication is the only solution that can solve all the problems that we are facing today. Simple talk, no business talk, no marks talk, no your salary talk, what you have achieved in your life. But how are you feeling? What was life like? So just simple talk where you laugh, where you cry. That communication is missing. That talk is missing. So that will make a person know emotions. The person will be empathetic. A person will be kinder. And most importantly, a person will be resilient. These are all qualities of a human, but somewhere because of all these feeds and all those this business world, we have got those traits or characteristics somewhere back. So we need to get it back.
I think uh, sometimes when I get a lot of this empathy or when I'm actually seeing what something is during volunteering. Because when Tourcom we started in our college days, we used to visit orphanages to spend time with children, or we would go to a school to paint the walls. And looking at the kids over there or spending time with them is something that would trigger your empathy. It would trigger things that we take for granted, right? Because when you're volunteering, you are actually in the place, looking
Yes,
around you,
yes,
contributing something. Um, so I'm sure that as VP of CSRBOX, I think you would have created programs or come across programs. So
yes,
since this is volunteering year, would you like to share a few volunteering opportunities that you
yes.
think would develop this empathy or just get people out there volunteering?
Definitely, yes. Volunteering programs can be a great for shaping those young minds. Definitely, yes. Unfortunately, even the education system has put one subject called SUPW as a compulsory subject in all the private schools, whether it is CBSE or SSC. It is a graded subject, but it's a compulsory subject. SUPW is your productive activities that you're supposed to be doing. It can be a volunteer work. Can be anything good work. But the reality, and I can vouch for that, those periods are taken by all the subject teachers. And at the end of the year, just 1 week is given to a child. He do something, donate something, do these things, and put it in a file, and then they present it to the board. That's the reality today. But when I'm working with CSR Box, so we have a summer camps. I work with a lot of schools pan India. We have summer camps in those government schools. I normally try to get, and we teach them right from sports to nukkad natak to kalari, means any form of a thing which
Right.
can be then showcased during the annual events. And I try to get students from private schools or institutes. It's a good learning for them to understand the real life. Ki what they do, means what this private children are getting, and how this government school children are living their life and they are happy. So definitely volunteering is a great thing for shaping young minds. So what happens is ki when these children they step outside of their immediate environment, their comfort zone, and they engage with the real communities, the real village, the real India that is hidden or we don't know about. So definitely something shifts with them. They begin to see perspectives beyond their own. So I have seen students who have been part of the summer camps coming and telling me ki we never imagined that there can be so much of a different kind of a life these children are having. We thought ki apna life is completely difficult and stressful, this thing. So when students participate in community initiatives like teaching younger children, or maybe visiting some village schools or supporting some local cause, they begin to understand the real challenge, the real problems, not the problems or the challenges which the social media gives you. They develop this gratitude. So, and with gratitude, if you have gratitude, na Karthik, definitely you become more empathetic.
Right.
Instead of having those complaint boxes everywhere, na, let's start keeping these gratitude boxes everywhere. A simple thank you. Hey, thank you so much for this.
Mhm.
That is when we will have that empathetic and kinder world. We are only complaining, and that complaint box will fill up to the end.
Right.
So it's not about just about doing for others, it is about doing with others. And definitely that shared experience of working in those villages, that is will build up true emotional intelligence, EI. दूसरे कंट्री में तो it is compulsory to do social work. Why can't we have that? We have, but then as I said,
gets taken over by the math ma'am who needs to solve some.
Maths and science. That is always taken by the maths and science. कि नहीं हमारा syllabus is not completed.
Yeah.
And definitely even parents don't care. Acha, it's only grade na A and B milega. Marks is important. Otherwise, how will you get a job? How will you get a good salary?
Mhm. And kids, they have enough pressure already with all the competitive exams and everything. Uh, yeah,
Exactly.
we need to we need to spend more time with them. We need to develop like the habit of just asking them how are you, how was your day, right? The simple
Yeah.
stuff. I think one thing which you mentioned gratitude, and it reminded me during COVID, we used to do this thing where before going to sleep, just list 5 things you're thankful for because you couldn't go outside, right? It's good to think of things that you're thankful for. Oh, I'm thankful for that cup of tea I used to have at the shop. I'm thankful for like the bird which is still singing outside my window. Small, small things, right?
So we have forgotten that. Na? As I said, our muscle memory has become so these things we are only running.
Mm-hmm.
We don't stop. Just for 5 minutes sit na. For example, in that movie that Ye Jawani Ye Diwani, jab Ranbir Kapoor and they are sitting on that peak. So they are saying na, it's okay if you leave certain things in life, but enjoy where you are. Stop running. There are 10,000 things outside. If you can enjoy 5 things, just enjoy that 5 things, but be there. So don't try to be a perfect person, a perfect employee, a perfect parent, a perfect teacher. You need to be a present one, not perfect. Nobody is giving you an award for that.
Thanks. Um, I think we are coming close to the end of our podcast. So, if anyone has any questions, you can put it in the chat. And, ma'am, do you have any closing thoughts that maybe I didn't get to in our conversation? Anything you would like to add at the end?
Yeah. So at the end, I will just like to give one simple thought. So in this fast-paced, the technology or the AI-driven world,
Mhm.
let us not forget to pause, to listen, and to connect. Because beyond all these so-called achievements, it is only our ability to understand and care for each other that truly defines us as human. We are a superior thing, but we have forgotten that. We are not kind anymore. So we need a world where children grow just not as a achievers or toppers, but as a kind, aware, and resilient human being. And that is when we truly will shift from AI to EI. AI is just a medium. Use it when it is needed. Don't make it your life. AI is not going to feed you. It's not going to stop you when you're in trouble. That is only a friend, a person who can come and support you. AI will not come to you when you're hospitalized. So that warmth, that touch, only a human can give. No robots or AI can give you that.
True,
So
ma'am. Yeah. Uh, the I think it's everything you said is encapsulated in the word humanity, right? We are looking for the human connection that we can have with others so that we can at least pause, listen, and connect. That is what will give us strength. That is what will recharge our batteries. Um, so, at the end of this podcast, I would just like to quote yourself, ma'am, in one of your interviews I had read. You hope for an emotionally resilient, gender inclusive, and an innovation driven society at the core. I think that perfectly sums up, right? Because we are lagging behind technology, we are coming on so many advancements that humanity is doing. but it's important that we are also growing our emotional strength with that as well because people need to connect.
Yes.
So on behalf of SOCOM, I really like to thank you, ma'am, for joining us on this podcast today, and to our listeners, thank you so much. Remember that SOCOM is hosting a lot of volunteering events this year, being it the United Nations International Volunteering Year. So do check out our website, sign up for any volunteering activity, not just SOCOM. CSRBOX is doing loads all over India. So anywhere that you are, just remember that you can volunteer, you can change someone's life just by volunteering. So thank you once again, ma'am, for joining us in
Thank
this
you so
podcast.
much. It's my
Thank you.
pleasure. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.